what's left of what's right.
New York, New York. All the Empire State politics you need to know in a few New York minutes. And representing the left, if you will, Richard Brodsky, former Assemblyman, senior fellow at Demos, and professor at NYU. And representing the right of the Republicans is John Cahill, former chief of staff to Governor Pataki. Indian Point, controversial nuclear power plant, up for relicensing. By now, our audience knows the backstory to this. I would have thought a year ago, Richard, the chances would have been more so, the drumbeat would have been louder that it wouldn't get relicensed. The quiet, I think, is a good sign for Entergy.
Not at all. This plant is not cheaper. It is dangerous. The relicensing process is bogus. And most importantly, this is a place where Governor Cuomo is going to step in and make this part of his political legacy. Indian Point's going to close. It's going to close for the right reasons. It's not going to have a bad effect on New York's economy. Indeed, it'll have a good effect. And I think you'll see a dramatic change in the next 12 months.
You'd like that bet, wouldn't you?
Well, I can't see the NRC letting that happen.
Yes.
I think it will come down to a very interesting legal issue, which Richard and I can debate at some point. But the reality is, what's going to replace Indian Point? 2,000 megawatts of power. Where are you going to replace that at a cost to who's going to pay for the change?
Didn't we find out, though, when it did get shut down in '98, that the lights didn't go out in Westchester and the rates didn't go through the roof?
Listen, could you keep the lights on? Sure, you wouldn't have the same reliability. And every independent study from the ISO to the PSC has said that New York City, lower New York, needs this power unless you come up with an alternative replacement.
You're making it up.
It's not,
power
how do you replace 2,000 megawatts of power?
The way that it's being done right now, by bringing it from where there's excess power right down here with transmission lines.
Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for bringing the transmission from upstate New York down to Low State?
That power is cheaper than power generated here.
You have to get it here. You have to upgrade the transmission
system.
Costs Who's going to pay
are
for it?
Absorbable at a savings.
By whom? Who pays for it?
It's going to be built by private enterprise.
They're going to pick up the tab.
Yes.
The rate payers are going to pick up the tab.
for everything, but it's
right?
cheaper
And what impact does that have on economic development by already increasing the highest energy rates in the country?
I knew you'd end up with this place you started out.
And just so we know, the folks in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, are going to decide this. Not you folks at home, or not the guys at the table, or even the governor or county executive.
So Richard doesn't like hydrofracking, doesn't like nuclear.
We will have this segment, as always, back next week, same time, same bat channel.
Right.